let's do this. Hello, my lovely little snakelets. It's Hebi, and today we're going to be actually doing this live. So let's do this. Hopefully my music isn't too loud. I might just turn it down. But yeah, we're doing this live. So please subscribe to the channel if you want to do that. If you want to join the Discord to keep up to date with any news, you can do that as well. And if you would like to help me by buying me a coffee, you can buy me a coffee on Buy Me a Coffee. Let's start the chapter, shall we? It is One Piece, chapter 1114, The Wings of Icarus. We will start with the cover page. It is basically Yamato being asked to take Yusuke's sword to Emma's shrine, I think. At least that's what it said on the scans. I am very confused on what it says on the official because it says take it to Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest surrogate pilgrimage. Go and shrine this sword at Hakurama Sensei's shrine in Yusuke's sense. That is your surrogate pilgrimage. I am so confused on that. But yeah, whatever. But let's start the chapter. So why are we at Marine HQ? Like, why? I thought we'd be like, even though I've got it on my notes, I don't understand why. And I couldn't get my head around this. Why we jumped from wherever we are, because last chapter we were at Marineford, Egghead. Why were we thinking Marineford? I don't know. But yeah. And now we're at Navy HQ. The Marines are freaking out at Vegapunk's announcement, and Akainu seems worried about the news, but not shocked as everybody else. We then move to Mocktown, that is living up to its name, and just mocking Vegapunk's message. We then go to Water 7. Some of the civilians believe that if Vegapunk was just talking about them, they'd believe him, as they've already been affected by flooding and shit. We then go to Impel Down, where Dofi is on level 6, I think. And he's having a nice little laugh about the news. I guess even criminals get the broadcast, but whatever. Or maybe Dofi's just the exception. He says, what is gonna happen to the prison if the Great Flood happens? This person babysitting him. It's Vice Warden. Why am I saying Admiral? Because I'm used to Marines. Magellan. Remember, he lost his position due to the breakout. Magellan tells him, you have a point. We've already lost some cells, and that was only 1 meter. Dofi replies to him, 5 meters, and most places are fucked, but we could go higher. Well, the only people that can go higher are the nobles, so everyone's fucked. We then move to the Ryugu Kingdom, where Shiahoshi is asking her father if he thinks that what Vegapunk is saying is true, and stupid question here. Does this mean Neptune doesn't know the answer, even though he's the king of the seas and whatever, to Shirahoshi's question. And in my mind, this would make sense if Joy Boy's apology was to Poseidon. And yes, I know Poseidon is part of the royal lineage, but if Poseidon was a princess like Shirahoshi and not the queen, that makes more sense to me, at least. And I'm also starting to think, what if there is a unlocked memory or a locked memory in Shirahoshi's Poseidon memory, Poseidon side, that has the answer that she needs to unlock, or she can talk to the Sea Kings that potentially have the answer. We then go back to Egghead. The Marines are still upset and pissed off that Vegapunk would lie to the world, because obviously he's not telling the truth. Nagorase also looks super mad, and they just want to end the broadcast and everything else on the island. We see York running and looking for the snail as the broadcast continues. We then move to Alabasta and see the civilians watching the broadcast. I'm assuming it's Alabasta, at least. Vegapunk asks the audience to humor him. He says, according to his data, a few days from when he's recorded this, an earthquake will happen that'll shake the whole planet. So this is recorded around the 1060 mark chapter-wise, as that's when the Luetia kingdom was blown up and the crew had just reached Egghead. So I'm assuming he then left the Iron Golem. I don't know. Because that's where we find him. It's just confusing. We then see Smoothie questioning if the earthquake a few hours ago was the earthquake Vegapunk was talking about. The broadcast continues. Vegapunk tells the viewers that following the earthquake, the sea levels around the world will rise 1 meter and make some islands inhabitable or completely submerged. Just 1 meter. That is scary. But then again, that is actually happening in some islands around the world right now. Global warming! Yay! We then move to see Kuzan at, I guess, Pirate Island. He looks a little miffed, but not shocked by the news. And the broadcast continues. Vegapunk says if this doesn't happen, just ignore what I'm saying and take it as the prattling of a senile old man about to die. But if it does, take heed. We then move back to Egghead. The broadcast is continuing, and Vegapunk says that if the earthquake I just predicted is not a naturally occurring one. We see Grandpa Spider Cunt attacking Nami and Co, screaming at Vegapunk to stop his prattling as the broadcast continues. I don't know who screamed "Begone" though. That confused me. Is that him or them? I will have to watch the anime. And I hate the fucking animation. It's too clean for me. Vegapunk says that he only wanted peace, but he went too close to the sun and now has to pay for his sins. This is obviously continuing the broadcast. His first sin was making an energy source that would never die, and his second sin, we must delve into what happened into the Void Century. I continued the legacy of the O'Haran scholars. We then get a telepathic conference call from the Gora scene, with Mars being asked for a status update. Grandpa Spider Cunt says he will come and help as I'm bored here and heads over to Mars. And the lab, we see Mars smashing the lab that Mother Flame is in. Unsuccessfully trying to get it, by the way. We then move back to the outside of Egghead, where the Iron Giant is making its move, and Dory and Brokey with Luffy in tow are being chased by Mr. Piggy Topman, and the Marines are screaming that their bombardment of the Iron Giant is not working. We then see the reactions from Marichwa. Aimu is silent on the matter. The celestial dragons are raging, and Shala, who is the brother of the celestial dragon that tried to kidnap Shirahoshi, seems to be going, what the fuck is Vegapunk talking about? The Void Sentry. Does this mean that they don't know about the Void Sentry? Okay. That makes perfect sense that you wouldn't tell the members of the Founding 20 the history. We then move to Elbath to see Sol. He's laughing as the broadcast continues. Vegapunk tells the world about the existence of the poneglyphs and how they are considered taboo to decipher them. But he was lucky enough to inherit documents from a certain group of archaeologists that allowed him to pursue research. After all, history is all but a story. This also means that we officially have, like, confirmation, like, physical proof that Sol is alive. Yes, we got confirmation that he was alive, but actually seeing him. Where was it? We then get a little brief movement to Orange Town, where a little girl is telling the mayor about the founding, and I don't give a shit about that. We then move back to Nami and Co on Egghead. Edison has moved the island so the Sunny can leave as the broadcast continues. Zoro and Jinbei have not yet made it. Vegapunk reveals while he only knows small fragments of the 100-year story, it wouldn't be right to leave you with speculation. So he'll just give the straight up facts. 900 years ago, a person was born, just like the old legends of Elbath. I guess you couldn't also say Shandora because it's not really known about. He too fought with a stretchy and elastic body. They called him Joy Boy. He was the first man to take to the seas and be called a pirate. As you know, this is all happening. Luffy is punching unsuccessfully, I might add, Mr. Topman Piggy. And that ends the chapter, obviously, with the announcement of Joy Boy being the first pirate, which we kind of all globally as a community predicted Joy Boy was the first pirate. Does that mean Nika was the first man? I don't know. Could be, who knows. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to support me, you can, and if you want to join the Discord, you can do that as well. Bye! And I'm going to stop streaming.